I'm joined once again by Magnus Carlsen, just defeated his opponent in the quarterfinals, goes to semifinals, playing against Abasov. So what about the game today? He played in Alpine. I was a bit confused. You don't play much Alpine. Is it a solid opening for this type of game?
Yeah, I mean, it was preparation for the World Championship in 2021 for, you know, this particular situation where I'm up. So I think the opening went really well at several times. Yes, choices where you can sort of equalize, but then the game becomes a bit dull, and I think I was much better, or at least better for sure, until I made this insane move, Bishop B5, because then Queen B6, I just missed that. I thought Queen A4 and I'm better, but I just missed that Knight D4 works in this iteration, and then yeah, after Bishop after Queen B6, I was not so happy.
Suddenly you're slightly worse, but holdable. Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, probably A4 was poor. I was trying to sort of delay the inevitable exchange on C6, but then he found this move Rook D5. At least practically, it was good. So yeah, that was really unnecessary, because at that point my position was just very, very comfortable, and there was no need for this to get dangerous. Yeah, after that, there were a lot of unpleasant choices, really. And eventually I went for the least likely one, in a sense. The one I really, really didn't want to go for, but I didn't find anything clear in other lines. But I think the key moment was when I played the move A5. I think that was a very... Yeah, that's the one really that saved me the game, because it's really hard for him to prove anything there. He can win a pawn in a number of ways, but it always seems to end up in something very drawish. And it also gave me very simple moves to make to the time control. Then after the time control, I had a pretty easy fortress, so then it was okay.
So tomorrow you have a rest day. Probably happy to get that extra day. And now you face
2 rest days.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. 2 rest days. I forgot about the other one. So now you play against the local hero Abasov, who's actually playing a very strong and confident tournament. He defeated FIDE today. Do you have past history with him? What do you think of the matchup for semifinals?
I think he may have beaten me in a blitz game in Shamkir in 2015 or 14. I think that's probably the only time I've played him. Well, I guess I played a couple of games online as well, but I haven't played him much. But he's been very strong, as you said, very, very confident, playing quickly, and also playing well. So it's not easy, but nevertheless, you know, it's good to be here, and you know, it's a situation that I'm obviously happy to be in, that I'm in the semifinal and not playing, you know, the very, very top guys. But of course it won't be easy.
I've been criticized for reminding players of their losses, but you were eliminated in semifinals 2 years ago. What can you do? What are you thinking of doing to improve on that result and get to the final this time?
Yeah, I've lost in the semifinal twice, actually, in 2007 as well. So I guess nothing much special. I think my downfall last time against Duda was that I played a bit too riskily with white in the second rapid game. I mean, to nothing away from him. He was pushing in the classical portion as well. So, but you never know. I mean, I think. Yeah, I don't think I have to do anything too unusual. Just play my game and hopefully it will be fine.
Did you notice that Fabiano is fighting there with an extra pawn? Do you think he has winning chances in that position? What do you think he'll win? Because obviously he does have winning chances. He has an extra pawn.
Yeah, I thought the position probably has gotten a little bit more difficult to win than it was. I thought it would be a pretty easy technical win at some point. Now, I don't know. But obviously, if he makes it, he's a favorite to go to the final.
Cheers. Thanks, Magnus.